VYGOS is Vihangam Yoga Global Online Satsang, scheduled every Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Those who would miss to attend the Saturday session can listen to the broadcast of replay on Sunday at 4:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time. The aim of this forum is to give the entire globe an opportunity to learn the ancient science of meditation and benefit from this pious service inspired by Sadguru Sadafal Dev Ji Maharaj, the pioneer of Vihangam Yoga. If you are interested in learning the technique or want to conduct a program at your place, and for any inquiries related to it, please feel free to write to us at info@vihangamyog.org.
To all, I Anurag Dev, I welcome you all to this much awaited and the official inaugural session of the Vihangam Yoga Global Online Satsangs Weekend Series. Last few weeks have been a preparation for marking this historic event today, and we are all fortunate and blessed to become a part of this momentous occasion. Today we are blessed more and fortunate to have among ourselves Sant Shiromani Shri Naamdeo Ji Maharaj, the International President of Vihangam Yoga Organization. It is under the enlightened guidance of Sant Shri that today Vihangam Yoga is serving the pious mission of serving to humanity by spreading this knowledge of Brahma Vidya Vihangam Yoga to every nook and corner of the world. Last few weeks we have been on a journey, understanding or at least trying to understand concepts like that related to mind, brain, soul, etc. As human beings, we have been gifted with this incredible power of wisdom, ability to understand ourselves. How do we do that? Or how do we even know what we are destined to achieve with this gift of human life? Today's topic is not about understanding a specific spiritual or a physical concept. Rather, today we discuss a very generic topic, yet the most essential one. The topic on human life and how it is an opportunity to know the self, to know ourselves. How can Vihangam Yoga with the bliss of Sadguru help us in realizing the same? So let me introduce you to the global speaker panel of the day. So we have been joined by the team from USA. We have Tulika ji and Rekha ji and Vinita ji joining us from USA. We have Abha ji joining us from Australia. I am joining from Tokyo, Japan. And just a reminder, the prime speaker of the day, Sant Shiromani Shri Naamdeo Ji Maharaj, is today with us, and we are fortunate to have this session. And again, I thanks to all the speakers for taking out the time. Just a reminder, the questions during the session can be posted live at www.slido.com. The code is VYGOS. So now we'll get started in the traditional way as we do it by welcoming our Sadguru Dev to bless this occasion by reciting the Swagat Gan, which will be followed by Mangal Gan. With Mangal Gan, we immerse ourselves in the thoughts of Sadguru Dev and pray to him to eradicate differences and ills among various classes, communities and sections and have universal peace. For the same, I now invite Tulika ji to go ahead and pass on the control to her for the recitation of Swagat Gan and Mangal Gan. Tulika ji.
Thank you, Anurag ji. Jai Sadguru Dev, everybody. Swagat Gan. आज स्वागत नित्य गुरुवर संत शुभागम आए। अध्यात्म विद्या दिव्य ज्योति सोम रस बरसाए। दोष दुर्गुण दूर करके शुद्ध हंस बनाए। भेद गम गति ज्ञान गर्जन शक्ति द्वार हटाए। खुले द्वारा शब्द सागर भक्त जन अनहवाए। जन सदा फल विश्व शिक्षक शान आन बचाइए। आज स्वागत नित्य गुरुवर संत शुभागम आए। बोलिए सद्गुरुदेव की जय। मंगल गान। विश्व शांति नाम मंगल परम गुरु को ध्याइए। वर्ग द्वंद अशांति दूर कर भाव भेद मिटाइए। सार्वभौम समष्टि सत्ता ध्यात्म राज्य बनाइए। भेष भाषा भाव जगमय ज्ञान पर दर्शाइए। समृद्धि सुख शांति धरातल स्वर्ग भूमि बनाइए। विश्व शिक्षक जन सदा फल नीति स्वर अपनाइए। विश्व शांति नाम मंगल परम गुरु को ध्याइए। बोलिए सद्गुरुदेव की जय। Over to you, Anurag ji.
Thanks a lot, Tulika ji, for putting forward these soulful words of Swagat Gan and Mangal Gan across. With this prayer of world peace, with this prayer to the feet of Sadguru, we will now move to the rest of the session. Vihangam Yoga organization has been blessed by Sadgurudev with his unique creation of the book Swarved. This book was written by Sadguru Sadafal Devji Maharaj on his path of spiritual exploration. The source of knowledge in this book is not a reference from any other scripture in the world. The source of the knowledge in this book is Sadgurudev's own spiritual experiences of Brahm Vidya knowledge. So let's hear some relevant compositions from this book. I request Abhaji from Australia to take the control and recite few compositions from this holy scripture. Abhaji, to you.
Thanks, Anurag ji. सर्वेद पाठ। उत्तम जीवन जानिए सद्गुरु कर आदेश। काल रूप स्वाधीनता नियम अमृत उपदेश। By obeying Sadguru's rules and regulations and following his pure techniques is considered as the best human life. But those who are against it and doing things with their own free will is the only cause to bring themselves down. In other words, to destroy themselves, and also it brings their life to end. मनमुख जीव सुख ना मिले, मन हरि रह नित साथ, जग जीवन भर मावता, सद्गुरु शरण सनाथ. Mind is the enemy of human being. It's been associated with human being since so many lives. Soul is tied with man in many kinds of worldly wishes like gaining money, property, vehicles, family formation and qualification, traveling different countries, having kids and their education, and many more. Till the soul is engrossed with all these worldly affairs, they can't attain eternal peace. Man always keeps full control of mind of human being and shows rosy picture for the fulfillment of worldly desires. However, the soul is not after worldly desires. Its pleasure is to attain Almighty God. Therefore, which makes soul very sad. Therefore, human should learn to detach man from soul under the guidance of Sadguru and leading a spiritual motivated life, which will lead towards eternal happiness and peace. देह सूक्ष्म कारण रहे, जड़ चेतन मिली नाथ, इन वियोग होवे नहीं, जन्म मरण जीव साथ. Sukshma and Karan, the two stages of the body which remains with the soul. Even after the death of a person, they are not separated. They stay together. Due to these two stages of body, soul has to come back to gross body as per karma and are caught in the bondage of life and death again and again. Also, soul gets to face many kinds of sorrows. देह नाश जीव नाश नहीं, देही देह अभाव, जन्म मरण से रहित है, देह संबंध कहाव. Due to karma, soul and body gets connected again and again. Soul being immortal, even though the body gets destroyed, the soul is without a body. Due to the combination of soul and body, human being experiences the sorrow of life and death. In reality, soul is independent of life and death. To set yourself free from the bondage of life and death cycle, there is no other way other than to pray and do Prabhu Bhakti. Jai Gurudev. Over to you, Anurag ji.
Thanks, Abhaji, a lot for this wonderful insight from Surved. Now we move to the most awaited moment in this session, the prime speaker of the day. The topic, as I told in the beginning of this session, is a very generic and a very essential one on human life and how this is an opportunity to know the self, to know ourselves. How can a Vihangam Yoga, how can Vihangam Yoga with the bliss of Sadgurudev help us in realizing this particular aspect? Is it actually different from any other form of creation? Or we are just in this universe like anything else? We wake up today, we wake up every day, do our materialistic things, and then we die one day. We leave this world one day. Is that the only form of knowledge that we should be aware of? Or there are another aspects to this life, to this gift of being a human? Without delaying much, I would now pass on the control to Sant Shiromani Shri Naamdeo ji Maharaj, our international president, our guider, for this pious mission to enlighten us on this topic of human life and how it is an opportunity to know ourselves, to know the self. Over to you, Sant Shri.
Jai Sadgurudev, can you hear me? Can you all hear me? Hello? Am I audible to you? Hello?
Yes, Sant Shri, you are very clear. So,
all right. Jai Sadgurudev to all. Duralabha ya naradeya hai bhagyavan narapay deva sada phala hari kripa tabaya purajay. Most revered His Holiness Dev Bhagwan. Life itself means more than anything that human mind can think of. When we talk about the self and the self, which has to do with the human life, only categorizes the fact that we have the opportunity to know who we are. Because life as it is cannot be defined by any definition based on human perception. Human mind is thriving because of inner consciousness. And that inner consciousness emanates its energy from the very existence of what we call the Atma, the soul. If I were to ask you, how would you define tomorrow? How would you like your 24 hours to be? Aren't you gonna be bombarded with many options, aren't you? Aren't you gonna say that, okay, I want this, I have been looking for this, I have been hankering after these objects. Wouldn't you like to achieve, wouldn't you like to hear something positive news about what you have been looking for? Or anything that you want? If I give you option of time, I'm sure that you will have much more than what you call life. You may want so many things based on your hedonistic, materialistic approach of life, which will finally bring miseries in different terms. That's why it is very important to know life as it is. Life which doesn't have to do anything to do with any materialistic objects that we associate ourselves with. Acquisition of great mental capacity or respect from the world or enjoyment of worldly pleasures, possessions of more and more comforts and luxury and wealth. All of them that have been part of who we are and has created a perception, a characteristics of who we are, has confined us into the walls of misery and confinement of our own senses. What a shame. We are looking for freeing ourselves up from all these things. But what we have been doing is just the opposite. Trying to create more and more things to entangle ourselves, to embroil into more misery by creating more of everything that we should be completely devoid of. It's only when you know life as it is, your life becomes precious. Otherwise, His Holiness Sadguru Sudha Phaldev Bhagwan, he wouldn't have said, Swasa ek amulya hai, hira mulya na aaye. So kho wo tum shayan mein dhoke janam gavaye. He wouldn't have said, Dinamay vishay vikar mein nisha sayana sukha paaye. Haath hira aaya gaya. Durlabh janma nashaye. Kitna hira. Just like haath hira aaya gaya. Can you imagine he's talking about one breath that you breathe in. That one breath is good enough to enlighten you. You don't need millions of lives. Just one life that you're breathing in. This is what the life is. This is what you exactly need to understand at this point in time. As you hear this, each word, as I speak to you, each word, this is the most important moment of your life, which you don't realize, because you are always seeking something right, what is happening in 24 hours time from right now, which is just a fallacy. It's a mirage. That's why it's very important to know life as it is. Life beyond anything that human mind can think of. And he's explicitly mentioned in his Svaraveda that we can do that. We need to just clear off all the old habits, the patterns that we've been following. Kita bhringa ki swati se bhringa rupa ban jaye. Chota purva swabhava sabha. Chota purva swabhava sabha. Udata bhringa gati paye. Then what he says? Ananya bhava guru sharana mein. अरुवास्तिक्य विचार आज्ञा में जीवन चले खुल्ल सुख सिंधु द्वार. So you have to do just the opposite of what your senses are leading you to do, leading you and asking you to do so. As long as you are confinement within the periphery of your own senses, your life cannot be the life, the human life. You cannot know yourself. That's why it is important, just like Sadguru Sudha Phaldev Maharaj, he dedicated his life to a greater cause than himself. If you make your life greater and grander than yourself, you will end up doing something grander and greater that no one, including yourself, would not have thought of. This is clear. If you surrender yourself to the higher mission, all the greatest people on the planet, they were born with the same qualities as we do. They were born with the same 2 feet and 2 hands and 2 eyes. The reason why they do, and the greatest people have achieved the feat of highest success, is because of the fact that they surrendered themselves to the greater and grander cause than themselves. They did not pay much attention to their needs. They did not give so much importance to their senses and pleasure and everything, every object of desire. No. That's why it's very important that we use this platform. That's the only reason why we have created this platform, Vishnu Prachar, online Vishnu Prachar, that the voice of Sadguru goes across the globe. And Sadguru Dev says that in his Svaraveda, Prema Bhakti Sadguru Karo. Prema Bhakti Sadguru Karo, Sadguru Alakh Lakhai. Prathama Milan Guru Pir Prabhu Janma Marana Tukajai. Sadguru Dev says that I will give you mine. I will give you myself to you. Sadguru Swati bringa ki karle aap saman. Mritaka bhava Guru pada gahe narabhay deva mahan. Narabhay deva mahan. You will be just like the Sadguru himself. Yes. But you need the Swati, the very pearl of Sadguru into you. which is possible, which is the purpose of human life. This is the purpose of this online satsang, that we have this consolidated platform where people from across the globe, from across the faith, from all walks of life come at one point and listen to the wisdom of Sadhguru that will take us to the heightened state of awareness, at least awareness about who we are. As a life will pave the path towards greater success, greater dimension. The dimension that we are in right now is confining us, is restricting us, limiting us, making us a little. We have belittled our life. And once we are connected to the source, as I think I am connected now, you can do wonders. You don't have to prepare anything. You don't have to have a lot of knowledge. Knowledge is a very small thing. Learning is a very small thing, little thing. Don't give much importance to your learning. What is important? To be able to allow the power to come within you. That is it. And for that you need surrender. 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 That's all you need to do. So I think I am crossing my time limit. So hence, I'd like to put a stop to it. So I will only say that just empty yourself, my dear friends. Just empty yourself. Bilkul. Just empty yourself. And once you know that Sadhguru is there, I don't give much importance to your thoughts. Your thoughts are stupid. My thoughts are stupid for sure. I don't know about about you. I can talk about myself. But most of the thought that comes to our mind are stupid, big time stupid. Don't think about that. You have to set a target, a greater mission, and you have to dedicate and just put yourself into it. So hence, I would only say human life, being born as a human being is the most precious and sacrosanct and beautiful. No other species can realize that. We are the only ones being born as a human can realize what we are capable of. Yes, that's true. So I would say and conclude by saying one Swarved Doha Sadhustaful De Bhagwan Sadguru Milna Katin Hai Utho Jago Dhai Sadguru Khojo Sharanalo Sadguru Khojo Sharanalo Dawa Chuk Nahi Jai. Sadgurudev Bhagwan Ki Jai. Thank you so much. Yes. And
Thanks.
Did I cross
Sant
the time
Shri.
limit? You didn't tell me. Yeah.
Thank you, Sant Shri Naamdeo Ji Maharaj. I don't have words, and words are not enough to express my thanks on behalf of all seekers for this enlightening session. I understand that the time was short for this kind of topic, the human life and a different perspective that we need to adopt, that we need to see, apart from what is going on daily in our materialistic life. That's where I believe we need the blessings of Sadgurudev. That's where we need the blessings of the energy of Sadguru to realize this aspect of human life. I again thank you, and I'm already seeing some questions coming up on the slido.com. So I request the seekers to hold on for some time. We'll move to the question and answer session shortly. And moving ahead, now it's time for a bhajan. I request Rekha ji from USA to present a soulful bhajan, and I pass on the control to her. Rekha ji.
Thank you so much, Anurag Devji. And Jai Shri Gurudev, everybody. Bhajan. मानुष जन्म बड़ी भाग्य तू पाई, मानुष जन्म चेतु सबेर देर मत लावो, चेतु सबेर देर मत लावो, नाही तो पल पल दशाए मनुष्य जन्म बड़े भाग्य तू पाई मनुष्य जन्म विषय वासना मन से त्यागो विषय वासना मन से त्यागो सार शब्द सुमिरो मन लाई मनुष्य जन्म बड़े भाग्य तू पाई मनुष्य जन्म या ही शरीर सब कुछ होवे या ही शरीर सब कुछ होवे स्वर्ग नरक बैकुंठ हो जाए मनुष्य जन्म बड़े भाग्य तू पाई मनुष्य जन्म सबसे दुर्लभ ब्रह्म शांत सुख सबसे दुर्लभ ब्रह्म शांत सुख याहि तनो सद्गुरु दर्शाए मनुष्य जन्म बड़े भाग्य तू पाई मनुष्य जन्म कहीं सदा फल यह वाचो के कहीं सदा फल यह वाचो के सोचा राशि भटका खाए मनुष्य जन्म बड़े भाग्य तू पाई मनुष्य जन्म बोलिए सद्गुरुदेव की जय over to you अनुराग देव जी
Thank you, Rekha ji. Thank you for this very context-related bhajan. Manus janam bade bhagya tu pai. Sadguru Sadafal Dev ji Maharaj in this bhajan is laying stress, is emphasizing on the importance of human life. Sabse durlabh brahm sant shuk ya to na sadguru darsai. The ultimate aim, the supreme aim of human life, the ultimate peace is possible only via Sadguru, only via Sadguru. It is not possible without having a Sadguru in life. I again thank you for this soulful bhajan, and we move to the next milestone in our session, which is the Q&A part. So we have received, I think, 4 to 5 questions on the slido.com, and I will be putting them one by one to the holy feet of Sant Shri. And so we have another 20 minutes for this Q&A session, and we will try to cover as much aspects as possible. To start with, there is a question. The question reads like, what is the real objective of human life? Should we leave everything, what we do in this world, and just surrender to God? So the seeker is basically looking for an answer on the objective of human life, and he seems to have, or he seems to get some clarity on what shall be done to attain that objective. Sant Shri, I pass on the control to you.
The question that he's asking, that shall we just abandon everything and surrender ourselves to Sadhguru? That's what he's asking. What is the question?
Yes.
Please come again. Okay.
Yeah, the question is, what is the real objective of the human life, and shall we abandon everything for this, or surrender to God, or how can we achieve that particular objective?
Right. Well, first of all, it is the very need of broadening our vision to get everything following us, following everything that you want is everything that you want that we are following is actually absolute no in the spiritual world. Everything should follow you. In fact, I would rather say that you should never abandon anything. In fact, I don't think you have more. You should have more and more. The problem here is that we human beings have limited our thought process to such a level that we are hell-bent on killing our own brother, our own family members just because of a plot of land or flat, which is such a shame. When you can have the entire world, when you can have the entire existence around you, entire universe around you, why would you fight for a piece of land or kill someone? It suggests that we have been limiting ourselves, and we have always associated adhyatma, spirituality, the path of spirituality, by abandoning, by giving up everything, which is such a misery on the name of spirituality. It is not. It is actually not. Spirituality and the path of Vihangam Yoga, when we say surrender, we say that we are surrendering the conflicting nature of our own being. And what are these conflicting nature? When our body is saying something else, mind is talking about something else, and how we represent ourselves to the world is totally different. So this Hippocratic life, full of hypocrisy, is against spirituality. So once you are aligned, your body, mind, and your inner consciousness is aligned, you automatically surrender to the supreme, super consciousness, and that is Sadhguru. Once you do that, rest is the history. Everything will follow you. You won't follow anything. You won't follow a Mercedes-Benz. You won't follow a big house. You won't go and kill people for a piece of land. You won't do this small thing because you know that the entire universe is following you. You're not following anything. You're not a puppet of this universe. You are the universe because you are connected to the higher source. That's why you have to submit yourself for the higher dimension of life, then yourself. If you submit yourself to the higher zone, higher dimension of life, which your mind cannot reach, then you are bound for all the materialistic success that will follow you, even you don't want that. And that's when you could be devoid of everything. At the same time, you would be surrounded with all the worldly pleasures of your life. That's when you can lead a life of a yogi. Yogi does not mean that, that's why you say that, it does not mean that running away from the world. It means that getting into the world, at the same time, being into the world, being into this life, being with just everything around you, at the same time, totally detached. Nothing can touch you. No karma can touch you. So that's the principle of this. So my dear friend, it is not about abandoning anything and surrendering. Surrendering means you surrender the conflicting nature of yours, because when you are the enemy of yourself. No one is your enemy. You are the enemy of yourself. So once you befriend with the inner consciousness, with your soul, and you submit that soul to the supreme consciousness, that the Sadguru, the Akshara Mandal, from where all the energies comes from. There is a center for all the power of the universe. That's what the Sadguru is. And once you reach there, once you submit, you align your energy to that supreme power consciousness, and everything will follow.
So, thank you, Sant Shri, for the enlightening answer. So I believe we had another question in the same series, wherein the seeker was had put a question: how to do complete surrender to the Sadguru. I think the answer given by Naamdeo, Sant Shri Naamdeo ji, has answered this particular question also. The next question I have is I think it's quoting the Sant Shri Naamdeo's speech, the session, the talk. So the seeker is basically asking about how can we go against each of our senses while still living in this world and carrying out our daily activities. So basically, here the seeker is looking. I'll repeat the question again because I think there is an audio glitch also happening. So how can we go against each of our senses while still living in this world and carrying out daily activities? So if it is clearly audible, I will pass on the control to Sant Shri Naamdeo ji.
A heightened awareness is the only solution. Being conscious of what you're doing is the only solution, is the only answer to your question. Because you don't realize what you're doing. And you end up doing things which is more of a pull. And that pull comes from your senses. So still you can carry out all these things that you should carry out on a daily basis as a human being within a family or surroundings. But you can be still centered. If you find that center within your own self, which happens only by the bliss of Sadguru, then you can be centered at all times and still be detached from everything that you engage yourself into. So to begin with, awareness about yourself and heightened awareness about yourself is the way forward. That comes from a very disciplined life. One has to lead a very disciplined life and stop all the chatter of the mind. But that comes with the practice, and only by the bliss of Sadguru, once you are centered, once you are established within yourself, rooted within yourself, then from there on, you can do everything at the same time, totally detached. You will do everything in absolute moderation. You will eat just the amount that you need, that your body needs. There will be higher intelligence awakened into you. You'll be only eating the amount, and you know it, you don't need to eat even a bite further. You will know how to sleep. So if you know how to think, how to eat, and how to sleep, these three things can actually raise your awareness level about yourself. But that would not be the main thing. The main thing is to align yourself, attune yourself to cosmic energy, the energy where all the energy come from, that is Sadguru Akshara Mandala. Once you are attuned to it, everything follow. You are in the flow. You are in the flow with the nature. And nature takes care of you really, really well. That cannot be described into words. It has to be felt. It has to be realized, to be believed. So initially, you can, whatever you do, you have to be very moderate and you have to be very disciplined. That's the way forward.
Thank you, Shri. So, hello. Yeah. So now the next question. I think this more or less no also connected with another question in the pipeline. So there the seeker is asking about how do we attain this detachment of soul and the body. So I think the previous answers from Sant Shri described about how to begin with, and the detachment of this kind which seeker is looking into. I would just request Sant Shri to say a few words on this aspect.
Come again. I'm sorry, Anuragji.
Yes. So the seeker's question is about how do we attain this detachment of soul and the body, the conscious body. So what I described in the beginning is like the initial answers given by you do narrate and do tell, do enlighten us with how should we start the procedure, how should we initiate ourselves into this. So but still I would like you to throw some more light on this question of detaching the soul with the body.
Okay, well, that won't be possible unless you are able to have complete control over your prana. And, as you go through Sarveda, it says that कारण मंडल प्राण जो पहुंचे योग विधान मन पंगु तब होता है द्वंद मिठे दुखान. So when mind is absolutely manaha, is absolutely encapsulated, is actually really, really weak, you cannot. Because you are in circulation, you are in vicious circle of this mind and prana. अक्षर से गति प्राण में, प्राण से तन व्यापार. अक्षर से गति प्राण में, प्राण से तन व्यापार. चक्र नाल इंद्रिय चले. धर्म है विविध प्रकार. So unless you ascend yourself from this prana, you cannot do that. No one can do that. And that's why Sudadev Bhagwan says that akriya मन अरु प्राण से केंद्रित चेतन केंद्र आत्म शुद्ध प्रकाश है शास्त्रक देह महेंद्र. So the answer lies in Svarveda. I think it is Svarveda Pratham Mandal Pancham Adhyaya should be. Yeah. Mana व प्राण संघर्ष में आत्म विजयी होय प्रभु सुमिरन अरु भजन में अब कोई विघ्न न हो. That's the only solution. As long as your mind and prana, because your prana is connected to that mana and prana, man and prana goes together. So man cannot be subdued, cannot be put to silence unless prana is dissolved into that Akshar Mandal. So that is possible only when you are able to ascend the level of prana and mana. Mana va prana vyavahar mein tirgun ka vyapar, man aru prana vileen mein tirgun dharma sanghar. That's when you can actually do it. Otherwise, there is no way. I can give you very superficial answers that that's the, according to Sarveda, it is the only way, this is the only the truth.
Okay, so yeah, thanks again, Sant Shri. So we'll move to the last question of the day. The last question of the day is I think it's an important one, and it's a bit generic also. The seeker has a question, and the question is, how do I know to have this different, this perspective on human life, on my life? I see the world running like a machine or a formula. How do I know that I think exists a Sadgurudev? So basically, I think in summary, the seeker is trying to figure out among the crowd as to what is the truth. So basically, we see everybody claiming to know the truth, and we see a big crowd of such type in this world. So how do he come to know that there exists a Sadgurudev who can make him realize this different perspective on human life? So I hand it over to you, Sant Shri, to enlighten on this particular aspect.
Suppose that if I don't have a big car, okay, and I see someone else zooming in Ferrari, okay, and if I happen to notice a person inside, maybe he just 28 years of age, having been born with a silver spoon in his mouth, being a highly rich person's son, and if I notice this person and feel really that, oh, I don't have much in my life, without knowing the other person what he has achieved. Though he's quite a lucky guy, having been born in such a great family, zooming in Ferrari. That's fine. That's absolutely all right. But is he happy? Yes. Maybe his contentment, his happiness radar is much lower than the person who has just crossed him in a bicycle. Yes. The person who has just crossed him in a bicycle may have much more confidence in real life than him being confined into a sophisticated piece of machinery. Isn't it the truth? Yes, it is the truth. You grow up, you go and see the world how it is. Generally what happens is we visualize life by very much peripherally. We see outer side, we don't see the inside. What a person is made of, what a character is made of, is something very, very different. We see the light, but we don't see the wire inside that goes inside it. The light looks very fine, beautiful, nice, ebullient, illuminated, but the wire cannot be seen. And without those wires, the lights won't be on. So once you know life as it is, it means that how precious this human life is despite all that, despite everything. That's when your life becomes life. Otherwise, anyway, you are dead because you are not being appreciative of what you have. The person who is in Ferrari, being born in such a family, maybe living a very miserable life. Personally, there are so many examples of the world. Some of you who are listening right now may have some examples, may have noticed those people. And everything has a layer to it. Life itself is absolute sacrosanct, despite anything in the world. It is how much of importance you give to this moment and this life and what you are doing makes the entire difference. And if one is not appreciative enough, grateful enough for what he or she has at this point in time and where he is, if he cannot see the bliss in misery, then of course he is bound to lead a very miserable life for the rest of his life. Is it the truth? If you cannot see the opportunities of growing ourselves to different dimension in times of turmoil and chaos, we cannot lead a life of greater dimension. We cannot reach a higher stage of our life. And these things accentuate our level. So any circumstances that makes you feel very uncomfortable is in fact the very reason why you should be looking into it very closely, that you can actually pull yourself off it. That life is beautiful the way it is without anything else. Suppose that if you are in a toxic room, okay, all you want is a fresh air, and you are about to die because of the fume inside. Would you want a Mercedes S-Class or Ferrari or if anything else in the world? The world is zooming fast. No. Can you imagine one person having having been hospitalized and being in hospital, having mask on his nose, just breathing to be alive? Just imagine that person's life. All the wealth of the world is of no help to him. It is just keeping him alive. If that person is asked, sir, suppose that your $1 trillion money is given to a charity, but once you give this money to charity or anything else or to anyone, you would be given a very decent life with a maybe few thousands dollar worth of car or a big house. I think he would accept the latter one. He would accept the life of decency. Because the life itself is beautiful. You don't realize it because the reason why you don't realize is because you're so attached to your senses and everything that it creates. Okay, it is amazing. All the amazing things that you think is amazing actually is something else that you don't realize at this point in time. Once you reach there, you realize, oh, how hollow is it? How hollow it is. That's why spirituality is very important. That everything should follow you. No, you should not follow anything at all. That's when you can be totally detached from everything. At the same time, everything will surround you. That's why it is emphatically said over and over again. So that's once you realize this, and it only happens when Sadgurudev, once you go through sadhana, the sadhana which has been prescribed by Sadgurudev himself. Once you understand this, it is an inner journey. It is about understanding your life. So once you understand this, once you understand your own self, then everything is solved. And that wisdom, that pearl of wisdom comes in only.
Thank you, Sant Shri. Thanks again. And indeed, this question answer session has been most enlightening for all of us. I thank you again on behalf of all the seekers who have joined us globally in this particular online event. With this, now we move to the last segment of this particular session. We move to the final prayer of Shanti Path. In the Shanti Path, we chant for peace of everyone who exists in this universe. May Sadgurudev bless the entire cosmos with peace, love and prosperity. I request Vinitaji from USA to recite few lines of Shanti Path, and we will move towards the closure of the session after that. Vinitaji, over to you.
Thank you, Anuragji. Jai Sadgurudev to everybody. Shanti Path. हे प्रभु शांति स्वरूप हो, शांति शांति में शांति, शांति शांति जन शांति हो, पूर्ण शांति में शांति। हे प्रभु शांति प्रदान कर, दूर हो सर्व शांति, देव सदा फल शांति में शांति शांति.
And thanks again We have been very fortunate and blessed today to have Sant Shri Naamdeo Ji Maharaj among us, doing the talk on the human life, and also indirect one-to-one question answer session, which was more and more enlightening for all of us. We will continue this journey in the future. We will continue this journey every weekend on a topic like this. And I again sincerely thank all the seekers who have taken out time from their very busy schedules, to all the speakers who have taken out their time. And I thank all of you who became a part of this online satsang, who became a part of this online session. Please be tuned onto the same channel next weekend too at the same time. We will circulate the topic of discussion in the due course of time. And at the end, I only pray to Sadhguru for your great health and a prosperous life. Thanks to all of you, and Jai Sadhgurudev.
Jai Sarve